going to share. There is a general questions for round one. What is expected being asked during the round one? And then for the round two, it's more chapter. Okay, basically they will ask regarding the theoretical behind it and methodology. What is so special about your methodology compared with other methodology? Okay, I would also like to address these particular things when I go through the thesis examination. Okay, for literature review, you need to address all the related theories or approaches made by any other researchers. Okay, you cannot simply narrow down to your concern. Okay, there is lots of candidate make the things. Okay, right. So you need to make it broad, narrow it down during the chapter 3, the methodology. You just choose the method from the chapter 2 that more broader to the more specific in the chapter 3. Okay, right. So this is the things that you need to address during your Viva Voce. Okay, because sometimes chapter 2 is too much things to be written. Okay, and I also need to address these particular things. Okay, uh, you need the candidate need to check their thickness of the thesis. Okay, sometimes the literature review is more thicker or more longer than the chapter 4, the results and discussion. Okay, right. So because chapter 2 you compilation of many other researchers' achievement. Okay, of course you need to make critical comments and so on. But some of the candidate, I must say honestly, they just copy and paste. Okay, from other papers, especially from review papers. It's very easy to do literature review. You just find the review papers from any journals and put everything in your literature review. I have faced this kind of things. Okay, there is no shortcut. Okay, you can refer to the review papers, but you need to understand, okay, what's being told in the review papers. If you really get the examiners that very well versed in that particular things, okay, you need to be sure your level of understanding is up to the standard, right? So the rest you should refer to my slide, yeah, that I'm going to share. Okay.
Okay, Prof, we have another two questions. So the first one is from Sharil bin Saleh. Assalamualaikum,
Okay,
Prof.
please.
Some graduates say one of the most popular question is about the novelty. Even some examiners Google the research to make sure the novelty of the research. Can you advise us in preparing how we can answer the novelty question with confidence?
Right. Okay. So very good question from Shariel. Okay. So when we're talking about novelty, okay, we are the developing countries. Okay. To be honest, okay, I must say that as an examiners, I won't ask such questions. Okay, because we know the amount of money that being allocated by our Malaysian government is totally very compared to other countries. So when we're talking about novelties, Nobel laureate, and so on, we need huge funding from government. So I must rephrase the word novelty to your contribution. So if you go through my slide, I never said about novelty. I must say that about your contribution to the new knowledge. Okay, yeah. So I must say that you must try to highlight your contribution to the new knowledge. Okay, right. So it depends on your level of your subject matter. Okay, regarding your field of studies. Okay, you try to give few example. Okay, what problem statement. So when we're talking about research questions, there is your research must address what is the research question in the beginning of your studies, the problem statement. Okay, have you been able to address it? Okay, so that's why in my student slide just now, I put when talking about chapter 4, okay, the slide said what is the objective of the studies, what have you achieved. So your achievement must be well highlighted that is have a correlation with the objective that being proposed, because the objective is correlate with your research questions or problem statement. Okay, so try to have this scenario during your presentation. Okay, thank you.
Okay, Prof. We move to the last question today by Haris Ashraf Hassan. Prof, during Viva Voce, can we take 1 or 2 minutes to share our personal experience in the postgraduate journey, then continue with the defense?
uh Okay, all right. So you can talk that during your meal session, okay, during the break. Okay, right. Because if you go through my thesis just now, sometimes the warm-up questions is related to your question just now. You can highlight your achievement during your PhD journey. Okay, because some of the examiners, they just want to make you comfortable with easy questions. Okay, why you pursue your studies, uh, what are you doing, are you friends, or are you working with some other agency or institution, right? So you during these general questions, you can answer or relate with your achievement, but not during your presentation, 15 to 20 minutes, because sometimes you will get the strong character of chairperson. Okay, they will stop you immediately after because he will say during the early session, you are being provided 15 to 20 minutes to address or to present your research work. So if you much time talking about unnecessary thing, and then talking lots of things on your what you call it, literature review and so on, you will miss the biggest moment, the most important things regarding your research and your contribution to the knowledge. Okay, because he will suddenly stop you.
Okay.
I already give you 15 to 30 minutes.
Th-
That's it.
um,
Okay.
Thank you.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Prof, for the answer and explanation.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our program. For 2 hours, we have succeeded in dominating time.